This is definitely a question where I'm thinking right away, like, oh, am I gonna have to go to Desmos and type in these equations? Maybe, but I obviously can also see that it's a plug points into equations situation. We have equations in the choices. We have a table of points. They're kind of messy points, and I don't love the equations have these annoying exponents, but one point is really lazy and pretty easy to work with, to the point where I don't really even need to do much on my scratch paper in order to kind of even think about this. If I plug 0 in and there's an exponent of 0 anywhere, that makes the base equal to 1. So I have these abilities to kind of like quickly move through things. So I would do this in my head. So in choice A, 5, this, I guess, again, I would do this in my head, but this is 5 times 2 to the first. So is that equal to 5? No, 5 times 2 is 10. This would be 5 times 2 to the 0. So 2 to the 0 is 1. So this does work. I can't pick it yet, though, because it's very likely that multiple answer choices will give me what I want. So let's continue. This one is going to be 5 times 2 to the negative 1. Again, it needs to be 0 there. And this here does work. 5 times 2 to the negative 0 is still 2 to the 0, because there's no such thing as negative 0. So that just gives me 5 as well. So two choices work. At this point, I would go to Desmos, because I don't really want to deal with the 5 halves, so why don't we just type it in? So 5 times 2 to the x, oops, let's put the x actually in there. So to the x. Does this work? Well, you can kind of just like see what's going on at 1. At 1, this looks like it's pretty high, right? I mean, I can't see my fingers in the way, but at 1, it doesn't look like it's 5 halves. It looks like it's 10. So I don't know, that doesn't seem right. Let's throw a negative in there, right? Negative. And there we go. We'll use the pencil. And then so at 1, 5 halves is 2.5. Wow, look at that. Just clicked right to it. That's what I want to do. So yeah, I can't get back to it, but there it is again. So that looks perfect. And actually, if I really wanted to, I could just do the point and just put 1 comma 5 halves as a point. And you could see now that it's on there. And then when I got rid of the negative and tried choice B, it wasn't on there. So you could do that too. But this is, to me, just easier visually. I know that fractions already are annoying. Exponents do interact with fractions in weird ways. So I really find that would be annoying too. So I would go to Desmos, but I don't want to type all 4 of these things out, is really what it comes down to. And mostly because I don't trust myself to type them right. You always miss a negative, or, put the exponent in the weird place, right? Everything's got to be in the exponent. You need parentheses around the right things. So I don't trust myself to do that, but I do trust myself to plug 0 in for x. That's a fairly easy number. In order to succeed on the SAT, you really need to be comfortable with the properties of 0 and the properties of 1. How quickly can you mentally use mental math to plug those numbers into equations and get the right number out? The faster and more confidently you can do that, I promise you, the higher your SAT math score will be. Yes, there's lots of other strategies, but at the end of the day, if you don't know how 0 and 1 behave, you really can't take advantage of a lot of those strategies, because they rely on the fact that 0 and 1 knock a bunch of things out and make a lot of algebra disappear and a lot of situations much simpler. So practice it. Try to get as good as I am. Even here, I wrote more on my scratch paper for you guys than I would have done. I could have done this in my head very confidently and been down to 2 choices before going to Desmos.